Being healthy can seem extremely vague and overwhelming at the same time. There's so much health advice being thrown around online, so it's hard to know what to follow and what to take with a grain of salt. But if one of your goals for 2026 is to just generally become healthier so that you could live your best life, I'll share 6 simple but powerful habits that shape the foundation of good health. We'll cut through all the trends and noise and go back to basics. If you get these 6 things right, or even most of them, you're already building a solid, healthy lifestyle. And all of this starts not in the morning, but the night before. The first habit is to sleep like a baby. If you don't sleep at least 7 hours at night, consider this your push to do something about it. You need your 7 or more hours of sleep. Sleep is the start of everything. Better brain function, balanced hormones, stronger immunity, improved metabolism, muscle recovery, healthier skin, more energy, and productivity. Honestly, sleep is so underrated. People think that when you sleep, you don't do anything, but your body actually fixes everything during sleep. A consistent 7 to 8 hour sleep schedule also helps regulate your circadian rhythm, or your body's internal 24-hour clock, so your body is trained to know exactly when to be alert and when to rest. Sufficient, consistent sleep tells your brain daytime is for performance, nighttime is for recovery. So if you already know what time you need to wake up the next morning, or what time you usually wake up based on your body clock, work backwards from there. Cycle back 8 hours earlier. If you need to wake up at 7 a.m., plan to close your eyes by 11 p.m. the night before. And that might mean already being in your bed by 10:30 without your phone, without any distractions. Just so you have time to ease yourself into your beauty sleep. And also, bonus tip, set yourself up really well that night. Choose your outfit for the next day, plan your meals, look through your to-do list. If you do things the night before that your future self will thank you for, you'll be more likely to make great health choices the next day. The second powerful habit is to prime your day. Having at least one healthy morning habit is like making your bed when you wake up. It's a tiny task that makes you feel like you accomplished one bit of your day, and it helps set you up for success. So this morning habit could be as simple as drinking a tall glass of water with your vitamins, or rolling out your mat for a quick yoga session, or having your favorite healthy balanced breakfast. Something simple enough to remember to do almost 100% of the time. When you start your day with something that's good for your health, again, you'll be more likely to make healthier choices for the rest of the day. If you start the day by drinking 500 milliliters of water, you end up drinking more water throughout the day until you reach your target 2 to 2.5 liters. If you start the day with a good breakfast with protein, fiber, and healthy fats, you keep your blood sugar stable and prevent unnecessary cravings and overeating. If you start the day with some movement, like a walk outside or a home workout, you reap the energy to get your other tasks done afterwards. So currently, my healthy morning habit is half a liter of water mixed with a scoop of collagen powder, 1 to 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, and around a tablespoon of lemon juice. I actually prep this the night before so that it's easy to grab and drink the next morning. It's a really automatic way to get hydration, fiber, protein, collagen, vitamin C once I wake up. Collagen isn't a complete protein, by the way, but it's a really easy way to boost your overall protein intake a bit, and it's good for the hair, skin, nails, and joints. But of course, as you may already know, you also need to get your nutrients in through whole food, not just supplements. Whole food is food in its natural form, with little to no processing or preservatives. So ideally, your meals should comprise mostly whole food. They should have a source of protein, fiber, and healthy fat. Unfortunately, fiber is one of those macronutrients that many people don't eat enough of. So, the third powerful habit is to simply add plants to every meal. So in a typical meal, you'll have your meat or your plant-based protein and your carb like rice or bread or pasta. For some people, veggies tend to be an afterthought or even optional. But if you're serious about wanting to boost your health this year, veggies should be a non-negotiable, at least 80 to 90% of the time. There are so many vegetables out there that are tasty, affordable, and easy to add to any meal. And this extra effort you make has the biggest payoff. Veggies instantly give you more fiber, which means better digestion, less bloating, and more control over your blood sugar. They have a lot of vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients that supplements can't fully replace. Supplements can fill in gaps, but veggies do the heavy lifting. It also becomes easier to manage your weight because veggies are low calorie, high volume. So you can eat a huge volume of food and still keep the calorie count moderate. I personally feel more stable and less bloated whenever I have a lunch that includes a lot of veggies. How you feel is also a good indicator of how beneficial veggies can be. And it does wonders for your gut health as veggies feed the good bacteria in your gut. And your gut is pretty much connected to everything in your body, from your digestion to your immune system and even your mood and your metabolism. And one more thing. You know how everyone is saying that you should eat more protein? Yes, you can get your protein from meat, fish, eggs, soy, and legumes, but guess what other food group has protein? That's right, vegetables. Veggies have small amounts of protein too. Not as much as meat or the dominant protein sources, but they're enough to boost your overall protein intake in each meal. Here are some examples of how veggies can contribute some protein on top of all their other benefits. So just aim to have at least 2 to 3 veggies per meal. No fuss needed. And fill up half your plate or a third of your plate with these veggies so you really get that volume and nutrients in. So if you're having eggs and toast for breakfast, throw in some spinach or tomatoes or mushrooms. If you're having a rice meal for lunch, fill up half the plate with kangkong or cabbage or bamboo shoots. If you're having pasta or a sandwich for dinner, you can add in some broccoli or eggplant or carrots. Let's remove the mindset that the less you eat, the better or the healthier. It's what you add to your meals that make them more balanced and nutritious. Now, if you have a very hectic schedule or you struggle with sugar cravings or energy crashes, this next habit will really come in handy. And that's to structure your meal times. Our bodies thrive on routine. If you eat at fairly consistent times, your body will learn when to anticipate food, your random cravings calm down, and your overall energy becomes more stable. Eating at regular times also helps achieve the Japanese health philosophy Hara Hachibu, which means to eat until you're 80% full. When you're not overly hungry to begin with, it's easier to eat slowly and mindfully and stop when satisfied. On the other hand, if you eat at random times, dinner at 9 p.m. for example, that can throw off your sleep quality and metabolism. So let's say you normally wake up around 7 a.m. A good meal schedule would be breakfast somewhere around the 8 to 9 a.m. window, lunch between 1 to 2 p.m., and dinner between 6 and 7 p.m. There's a 4 to 5 hour gap between each meal, and the final meal isn't too late at night. This pattern is commonly seen in countries with strong metabolic health like France, Japan, and Mediterranean regions. And if you're a super busy person, eating like clockwork can help reduce decision fatigue. But we're talking about consistency here, not rigidity. There will be days when you're on vacation or you have a social event where you might not be able to follow this schedule. And that's fine. This schedule is really just a guide for most of your days and something you can always bounce back to whenever you go off track. So check in with your current lifestyle and see what meal schedule will work for you. Allowing the structure will go a long way with your overall health. And of course, we can't neglect movement. I hope that 2026 will be the year that movement becomes a normal, regular thing even for those who don't exercise. And for this to happen, we need to integrate movement with our lifestyles. There are so many types of exercises that are amazing for our bodies and our moods. From Pilates to yoga to biking to swimming and many other sports. But if we were to go with the bare minimum, I would recommend starting with 2 foundational ones: cardio for heart health and strength training for muscle health. For cardio, it's not always running or high-intensity workouts. Doing chores where you're moving different parts of your body or even walking count. If you can aim to get in more steps than your usual each week, that's already major progress. Strength training is also important for building and maintaining muscle mass, which is especially important the older we get. Since the older we get, the more our muscles break down. So we need to work harder to maintain it as we age. So set a schedule that incorporates both cardio and strength training in a way that's realistic for you so you can follow it as much as possible. And with these workouts should come 2 things: stretching before and after the workout, and fueling. A light carb before the workout for quick energy, and protein and carbs after for muscle recovery. So how do we integrate movement with our busy lifestyles? One of the most effective ways is to set up your environment to make movement impossible to ignore. For example, set up a corner at home for your workout. Have your yoga mat and dumbbells and other equipment there for easy access. Lay out your workout clothes and shoes before you sleep. Reduce the friction or any chance to hesitate and back out. And always remember that exercise is a privilege, not a punishment. There's always a reward that comes after hard work. No one's ever said that they regret working out after they worked out. We're not always motivated to exercise, but sometimes the hardest part is just taking that first step, like standing up. or putting on your shoes, or rolling out your mat. But if you have systems in place, these systems will compound. And finally, as important physical health is, what's even more important is mental health. Stress and overwhelm and anxiety are becoming more common these days, which is why we need to pay more attention to our mental health. If you feel like you're spiraling inside because you're dealing with a lot, there are some things you can do that can help manage how you feel in that moment. And it can be as simple as breath work. A deep breathing technique that's the easiest to remember is box breathing or square breathing. This technique is meant to intentionally slow down your breathing so that you can calm your nervous system and improve your focus on whatever you're facing that time. You breathe in for a count of 4, hold it for a count of 4, breathe out for a count of 4, and hold it for a count of 4. Then repeat the cycle a few more times until you feel a bit calmer. This is great for moments of stress or whenever you need to relax for a bit. So if you're feeling overwhelmed with all the health advice out there, just remember, you don't need to do everything. Start with sleep, add structure, eat more real food, move your body, calm your mind. Do these basics well most of the time, and that's already a healthy life. It's easier said than done, but health isn't built overnight. It's built daily, and every little effort adds up. I hope you found this helpful. If you like this type of content, please feel free to subscribe to this channel where I share more videos on simple nutrition, overall wellness, and motivation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.